Thank you. Thank you for speaking the truth. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So, Fox's very own Brian Kilmeade is celebrating a birthday today. Brian plans to celebrate the same way he always does, alone. In an interview yesterday, President Biden commented on leaving the race, claiming he didn't think it would have mattered if he had pulled out sooner. Proving once again he should stop listening to Hunter. An Ohio woman was arrested after her pet raccoon was found holding her meth pipe. The woman is being held on drug charges, but the raccoon now holds a position on the board of Burisma. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney met with President Trump on Tuesday and said Canada will never be for sale. President Trump replied, "That's what she said."
I liked it.
Who doesn't pay for sex? Anyway, on Tuesday, the Supreme Court ruled to uphold Trump's ban on transgenders in the military. Yeah. Which means we're back to looking for a few good men and women without d. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Randy Weingarten is offering $1,000 to any teacher who can pin her for 5 seconds. Disney is opening up a theme park in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. It will be like the traditional Disney parks in America, except instead of the usual parade at 3 p.m., they throw Peter Pan off a roof. Homosexual.
Oh.
Sean Penn told former CNN host Jim Acosta that Trump might try and destroy the world. The interview was conducted at Jim's place. Acosta, you live in there. According to the New York Post, Richard Gere has revealed his one requirement for a Pretty Woman sequel. And already the pet stores are stocking up on fresh supplies. I don't get it. I do not get that joke. And finally, a bizarre video shows a bull casually mounting a scooter and riding it. Wow, would you look at that? Huh? Joy Behar can ride a scooter. All right. Silly. So protein is now pro-Trump. A recent piece from Vanity Fair claims that a preference for protein is a tenet of the manosphere, that evil orbit of masculinity that counts Trump as their vile leader. Oh, podcasters who love Trump promote protein, so it must be bad? Testosterone is evil too, unless it's being pumped into a preteen girl. Hell, I bet they even think running as an act is political.
Running as an act is political. And you know who taught me that? Tim Walz. The first thing he told me was that running is a privilege, and being a part of the running community is a privilege that not all people have access to.
That was Hope Waltz, Tim's daughter, attacking a running influencer for visiting the White House. Yes, running is a privilege, which I hope she forgets when fleeing a mugger. Oof. But it's no wonder so many young men are running from the Dems when this guy was your face of masculinity. But the left's quest against the manosphere isn't new. They attacked Rogan for hosting Trump, pinned the UFC as a sanctuary for MAGA culture, and all because the left hates Trump. And why? Well, he works hard, doing more before 9 a.m. than the Dems do all year. He secured the border, restored our military, ended radical gender ideology. Suddenly, the military is recruiting more young men than a Twister tournament at Don Lemon's beach house. Yeah. Hey. But for some reason, the left ties discipline, hard work, and accountability to Trump, which means by process of elimination, they want you to be fat, lazy, and stupid. I believe the medical term is rosy. But But aspirational goals for good health are one of many aspirations the left now see as evil. Remember when Time magazine declared exercise as racist and rooted in whiteness? And remember that math was racist too? Scientific American wrote a whole article about its white patriarchal past. They should have just said math is sexist because women can't do it.
A sexist would say.
Duke Medical School once said that showing up on time reflects white supremacy culture. Yeah, because when having life-saving emergency surgery, it's always good for the head surgeon to be fashionably late. Of course, even the aspirational American lawn is rooted in colonialism and racism. So it's no surprise that the people who said reading to your child disadvantages others are now coming for your hamburger. That's enough to make Chris Christie become a Republican. So the left links these healthy behaviors to MAGA, which forces them to take the side of the opposite, unhealthy crap. True, even Jedis must now be fat. Remember the woke's body positivity movement? Yeah, some picture of health. All it does is make airplanes use more fuel. So it's a hell of a list. Leading a healthy life is racist, improving your intelligence is bigoted, competing against your own gender is transphobic. Never mind that if you're black, gay, or poor and you do these things, you'll be more successful than if you didn't. It's about doing the work, something Dems avoid. For them, everything is supposed to be easy. You're a victim. Fat is beautiful. And it's someone else's fault. You're an idiot. No wonder these are your spokespersons. The laziness is both political and personal. Don't send illegals back. Don't arrest criminals. Don't improve education. Pretty soon you're okay with, don't get in shape. It's no surprise that people who don't believe in work also don't believe in shaving their armpits. I know. Took forever to get that picture. It's funny, the Dems love to wax poetic about doing the work, yet all they do is burn down a building, lie on a highway, or pour soup on a painting. The real work was in creating all those things, which was done by people who didn't spend their time blaming others' success and making excuses for their own failures. Meanwhile, the people who do that work are mocked for sticking to their traditions of discipline and delayed gratification. There's no one the left hates more than someone who paid back their student loans. It's the politics of resentment and blame, but they also oppose fitness to justify their own lack thereof, which is why they have no desire to do the heavy lifting, literally. Let's go! Tonight's guest. He's so hot, you need an oven mitt to grab his ass. Chef and restaurant owner, Andrew Gruel. Look deep into his soul, and you'll find a devious troll. Host of the You're Welcome podcast, Michael Mallet. She loves bands that wear flannel. And being on our panel, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. And just like Mount Everest, there's a 3-year wait just to climb him. New York Times bestselling author, committed and former NWA World Champion. Andrew, you own and operate some restaurants. Do you notice that it's only MAGA people who eat protein?
Yeah, well, apparently I'm a purveyor of hate,
yes.
According to the left. You know, actually, there is a silver lining to this, because when I see these headlines, I get mad. I do. I get a little worked up. I got to take a breather, have some worm toast and a quinoa bowl, just to bring my protein level down so I can be calm and lucid. But there are really, in the grand scheme of things, no successful vegan or vegetarian restaurants. Yeah, there's a couple outliers, but you're not driving down the street being like, should we have McDonald's vegan, McDonald's vegan? I mean, it's like McDonald's. Mm-hmm. So I understand that really this is just about them trying to create something out of nothing. It's this like pseudo-intellectual drive to create an issue out of absolutely nothing. It also goes to show you how quick our news cycle is, because protein's been in for like 100 years.
Yes.
Like, this isn't anything new. Just because the Liver King was out there eating, lamb hearts, like, that's not that big of a deal. There's one story on the outside. But what this comes down to, and I'm going to get big here, I'm going to get grand, okay, is that the right, or those people who think pragmatically and reasonably, not just the right, but many in the center, libertarians, right, we build things up, right? We create things, the left tears it down. So it's as grand as cities and architecture, but also ourselves. We want to be able to live without medicine. We want to be able to sleep well. We want to be able to feel good, comfortable, not have to take antidepressants. The left absolutely hates that. They want to tear that down. So really it comes back down to that kind of fundamental a rubric towards how they think about operating the world. And they want us to be weak and fat and Rosie O'Donnell so that then they can control us. That's really what it comes down to. So I don't always want to overly indulge in the conspiracy theories, but really that's what it comes down to.
Oh, well, interesting. He said a mouthful, Michael. How are you today? Why is doing good or doing better or being aspirational now a MAGA thing?
Well, I think it's always been correlated very heavily with being on the right. Because if the idea is if you have responsibility to change yourself, to improve your station, if it's something you have control over, those people do tend to vote Republican, as opposed to it's society's fault, it's racism, it's sexism, so on and so forth. I think this is a really great thing because the gym is something where anyone can improve day to day. And when you have those quantifiable results, it helps with your self-esteem, it helps with everything else. And at a certain point, it becomes, why do I need this nanny government or this politician to help me out when I have what it takes, maybe not to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but certainly a better version of myself. So I think this is a great trend. It's great for people's health. It's great for their self-esteem. And it's great for society as a whole. And it's great for people to kind of, breed better children.
Yes, it's true. Well, I go to the gym, when I was benching twice my body weight.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You did 200?
Yes, I did 200.
Wow, almost
Thank
two
you.
plates. That's almost 2 plates. That's no joke. Wow.
But you know what it is? You lift something up, you put it back down,
That's not a
you
bench.
build muscle. It's like, it's cause and effect. It's incentives. It's the most conservative thing in the world, Kennedy. You exercise. You run, don't you?
I do.
Do you think your running is a political act?
No, and it's really funny because I was watching that, and it made me realize that Tim Walz's daughter, she made this big stink about, like, I'm not going to grad school now because, and I don't know what the stupid reason was, but she was grandstanding. She's like, she was never accepted because she's so dumb.
Yeah, she's stupid.
So it's like, if you go to sub-Saharan Africa where they produce the best runners in the world, they're not people of privilege.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not Kenyans and Ethiopians living in gilded ivory towers who are flown in helicopters to their private tracks and they're, with their nutritionists. It's people who do the simplest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they can't afford footwear, so that's where barefoot running came from. And it literally doing what human beings are designed to do and doing it well without any iota of privilege, that doesn't occur to them. What occurs to them is maybe if I'm faster than everyone else, then I can go compete on the global stage and make money and take care of my family and build a hospital in my village. She's so ass backwards. It's not like lacrosse or downhill skiing that require tons of equipment and, you have to have membership to a country club. Running is the most beautifully basic thing in the world, even more basic than that pumpkin spice bitch who was speaking on behalf of her mediocre family, Tim Walz.
Yeah, it's so obvious. Like, you don't need to do like a 23andMe test. That's definitely his kid.
Yeah.
They're both stupid.
Yeah.
Tyrus, what do you make? Whoa, you got something there?
Hold on, before we do this, man, I got to protein up. Hold on.
Chug. Oh, he's chugging it. Holy
I need more protein, Gutfeld. I got my protein pudding, my protein shakes, jerky if you piss me off, but this ain't enough protein for this segment, Greg. I gotta old school this story here.
Where'd you get that?
I took it from the staff. Because you know what happens when you eat protein? You dominate. You exceed. You ever seen a fat tiger? No.
True.
So you continue on with your weak-ass vegan soirees, and we'll keep working hard, training, being the best. Cameraman, zoom. Look at this. That's all protein, baby. You want some?
No, I'm good. I'm a little frightened though, because I noticed that Jessica Tarlov wasn't at work today.
You know what? When they struggle, it tastes better.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. It's a terrible fact. God, I can smell. All right. Before we go, come see me on tour with special guest Tom Shalhoub. We'll be in Highland Heights, Kentucky, Jacksonville, Florida, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Rockport, Illinois. Go to gutfeld.com for tickets. Up next, Biden barely survives an interview. You have 2 legs on the ground.
If you'll be in the New York area and would like tickets to see Gutfeld, go to foxnews.com/Gutfeld and click on the link to join our studio audience.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.